Okay, welcome again, everybody. This is Group 6 presenting for us. I'm just going to turn the time right on over to Jillian, and she'll get started.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am Julianne Monzello, and this is my partner, Robbins Maxey. Together, we've prepared for you a presentation on advocacy organizations in the healthcare industry. I'll turn the time over to my partner, Robbins Maxey.
Okay, thank you, Julian. So we are going to talk about two things mainly. First of all, we are going to talk about advocacy organization, but also about professional organization. So first, let's define advocacy. Advocacy is an activity by an individual or group which aims to influence decisions within political, economic, and social systems. And advocacy can be presented on various forms. It includes media campaign, public speaking, commissioning, and publishing researches or conducting exit poll, or the filling of an amicus brief. Next slide. Uh, what is an advocacy organization? An advocacy organization is referred to as a structure involved in certain form of advocacy. By example, we can state the American Advocacy Group. Advocacy groups or organizations are also known under other names like pressure groups, lobby groups, campaign groups, interest groups, or special interest groups. And we continue with what is the rationale behind an advocacy organization. So motives for action of advocacy organizations may be based on shared political, religious, moral, health, or commercial position. So as a student, joining a healthcare organization or the student chapter of a professional association is one powerful way to position your future for success in your respective career field. So we are going to define professional organization. A professional organization is a non-profit organization seeking for further a particular profession and the interest of individuals employed in the field. So nearly every career field has at least one professional organization, and membership is typically welcome at all points in your career. Uh, what is the purpose of a professional organization versus the purpose of an advocacy organization? A professional organization purpose is to strengthen the careers and credentials of the members. On the other hand, an advocacy organization purpose is to use the collective power of its members to lobby for reforms or action for one or more specific causes. I am going to cite something very general, but we can consider, by example, uphold the rights of right holders in front of duty bearers. So this is mainly what advocacy organizations are doing. Let me cite some eligibility criteria for some advocacy organizations. The eligibility criteria vary from an organization to another. By example, for the National Health Council, the main eligibility criterion are first of all, the organization is a national in scope. Then the organization has been in operation for no less than 3 years. The organization must be a health advocate. Also, the organization or the subscriber have to provide evidence that it sustains the interest related to the profession at a state level or at a national level. Also, most of the time, subscribers are individuals that earn the degree fitting the requisites of the organization. Many professional organizations have a student chapter for those who are still in the process of becoming credentialed. Some advocacy groups or organizations involving in the healthcare industry, we can cite PNHP, which is Physicians for a National Health Program. We will have American Hospital Association. We have Doctors Without Borders. We have Physician Committee for Responsible Medicine. And then we have American Lung Association. So my colleague Julian will give you explanation on this advocacy group.
Okay, thank you very much. Here we see a few examples of a few of our principal advocacy groups that serve the healthcare industry. You may recognize a few of these, which just gives merit to just what a good job these guys are doing of getting, of advocating for their cause and getting their causes known and achieving action they are seeking to accomplish. New slide, please. First, we'll take a closer look at the American Hospital Association, abbreviated AHA. The AHA is a principal advocacy organization that advocates for nonprofit hospitals. Their mission, as stated on their website, is to advance the health of individuals and communities. The AHA leads, represents, and serves hospitals, health systems, and other related organizations that are accountable to the community and committed to health improvement. What the AHA does is links communities to their hospital resource through, we've seen these health fairs and different community events that will put the community and their hospital resource hand in hand, and let those community members know of what resources their hospital and its healthcare professionals are willing to offer and provide for them. New slide, please. The next group we'll look at is the Physicians for a National Health Program, abbreviated PNHP. This is an organization of health professionals, and what they hope to see is a single-payer national health insurance, which would entail a government institution paying, being the single payer, paying health professionals and facilities for services rendered there. And there are a few different ideas of how this single-payer entity would receive their funds, whether it be through tax dollars of citizens of each community, state, or national. That is something that they, a few different groups have a few different ideas about that. But what this group particularly does is educate and inform people on what they feel are the benefits of a single-payer national health insurance. This has been seen in some very well-developed countries in Europe. Sweden is one in particular that I believe they follow the single-payer national health insurance program, and they've seen great success in regards to the how many of their citizens are able to access healthcare at an affordable that is affordable to them. They work to reform the way that healthcare is paid for in the United States to match that of some countries who have already started this and have had great success. New slide, please. Next group is the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. This group promotes preventative medicine, conducts clinical research, and encourages higher standards for ethics and effectiveness in medical research. So this is an advocacy group that speaks up for their desire to see ethical clinical research conducted in the development of medications, how these products are tested, how they are how they receive their different FDA approval and on these things. This is a committee of physicians who would like to see medical research and medicine done more ethically. Next slide, please. This is one that's a little more popular. A few of you, I'm sure, have heard of this, the Doctors Without Borders, also known as MSF. They're more widely known for. This is abbreviation for Médecins Sans Frontières, Medicine Without Borders. And this is an international independent medical humanitarian organization that delivers emergency aid to people affected by armed conflicts, epidemics, natural or man-made disasters, or exclusion from healthcare in more than 70 countries. This is a group that you're going to see arrive when you're hearing about natural disasters and epidemics and these things happening around the world. You're going to see MSF arrive and offer their assistance. And this is also an advocacy group, and they raise awareness for the need of this group and raise funds so that these doctors and medical staff can offer these services wherever they are. Next slide, please. The American Lung Association, they have done a lot of work. They've been around since 1904. Their mission is to improve lung health, and what they would like to see is lung cancer defeated. Let's not have any new cases of lung cancer. They work to have air quality improved. They are behind a lot of our commercial factories and things that we have here in the United States are under regulation, and the American Lung Association has been behind that in part to reduce air pollution and these things that contribute to poor air quality. They would like to see air quality improved here in the United States. One way, and they've also been a great advocate in eliminating tobacco use and the related diseases. You will see the American Lung Association ads, billboards. They're all over the place, letting people know, raising awareness and education on the harmful effects of tobacco use, not only on those who use it directly, but the effects that tobacco use can have on people around them in secondhand smoke. They've been a great advocate in this cause. And another thing that they've been very effective, they've monitored and enhanced organizational effectiveness. So you've heard of this group, they've done a very good job of getting their cause heard, and they've done a very good job of this. We've seen a decrease in the use of these products, and so this is the American Lung Association and what they've stood for and what they're advocating for. Next slide, please. Next, we're going to look at a few of our principal professional organizations that serve the healthcare industry. Robbins has explained what a professional organization is, in that it is a organization of professionals that come together and can just put their heads together and use their collective knowledge, experience in furthering and bettering their profession and the work that they do. And what's offered, there's a lot of support for these physicians and different healthcare professionals. One of the more well-known ones is going to be the National Health Career Association, the NAHA. those healthcare professionals can, this is a great resource to them as they choose to have membership within this group. We also have the American Academy of Medical Administrators. This is specifically for medical administration professionals and the resources and collective power that they have there in this group. A few more that I'll mention quickly are the Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Management Education. These guys, these are the people who ensure that these hospitals that are accredited, that they are meeting a certain set of standards and that their professionals are educated and experienced, and they're going to ensure that patrons of that healthcare facility are receiving care by those who are educated and experienced and knowledgeable in their field. We also have the American Association of Healthcare Administrative Management. That's very similar. Another group similar to the AAMA. And also the Association for Healthcare Administrative Professionals. Again, very similar. A group that allows for administrative professionals in the healthcare industry to receive these benefits of their membership. On the next slide, we will go into more detail on the benefits. We can continue on to the next slide. These are just a few more. We've listed quite a few of these health professional organizations. So we've mentioned a lot of those advocacy organizations and the work that they do. What I'd like to share with each of you is what benefits are provided for the members who they add their voice to these advocacy groups, and these are the benefits that they receive in return. They're going to receive peer mentoring. They will be in communication with the best in their field. And this includes networking. This is going to help you get a job in your career field. Being a member in an advocacy organization also gives you the opportunity to participate in advocacy efforts. You can add your voice to a cause that you are passionate about and have a sense of belonging and contributing to your cause and your community. You will receive notifications anytime an advocacy issue is involved in legislation. So if there's something that your advocacy group is lobbying for and that issue has been brought up in legislation, it's something that's being voted on in the near future, you will be notified to know in what stage is this occurring, what is involved, what can you do to educate and inform and raise awareness on the goals of your advocacy group to further that movement. You'll also receive education and access to exclusive resources. A lot of these websites, you as a member of an advocacy organization, you will have a username and password. You're going to be able to log into these websites and access exclusive resources for members of these groups only. So when there's a cause that you feel very strongly for, if you want to go ahead and join an advocacy group, you're going to have access to exclusive resources and information on those causes that you care so deeply about. And finally, there are also some monetary benefits. Some of these groups are going to offer you discounts on auto insurance, home insurance. They're going to get you discounts on travel expenses, these sorts of things. Next slide, please. On the other hand, some services provided to members of professional organizations, these are those groups that professionals of the same occupation have come together and to form these organizations. What you're going to receive as a member of these organizations is access to continuing education, especially here in the healthcare industry. This is one that's continually evolving. New information is learned all the time. So really access to continued education in a healthcare profession is really beneficial and necessary. You're going to have access to the latest information relative to your profession. Any involvements in your profession, you are going to be notified and informed about, allowing you to be aware of any changes relative to your line of work. Professional networking, this is a big one. This is going to get you in contact with other healthcare professionals, whether you are going for healthcare administration or you're going to the clinical side of things. This is going to, joining one of these professional organizations specific to your profession of choice, it's going to help you to get a job. What I recommend you doing is first joining, many of these organizations have what they call a student chapter. And we'll get into more into that a little bit later, but this is going to help you develop your career, get your foot in the door, develop your career from there. And as well, there are some monetary benefits, including discounts on auto insurance, travel expenses, and etc. Things similar to these. They'll also provide you a discount on professional liability insurance, and this is big. When we're dealing with the healthcare industry, these are lives and people's well-being on the line, and your job as a healthcare professional, you have a lot of responsibility on your hands. This professional liability insurance is going to ensure and protect you against any legal action taken against you for any reason. This is something that is highly recommended to have as a healthcare professional. Next slide, please. You may be wondering if there are some groups out there that can serve both professional organization purposes as well as advocacy organization purposes. And yes, there are. One example is the AMA, the American Medical Association. This is a professional organization primarily that builds the careers and credentials of doctors, both medical doctors and orthopedic doctors. This group offers career development assistance as well as continuing education for medical students, residents, and doctors. The AMA also advocates many causes, including increasing access to healthcare, medical liability reform, and Medicare physician payment reform. So this is really neat, actually, because this is taking the profession of medical doctors and the like, and taking a group of these people that are very knowledgeable on issues pertaining to healthcare, medical liability reform, Medicare physician payment reform. These sorts of things are very knowledgeable, and so to add their voices to advocate for these issues actually really makes a lot of sense. These people are very knowledgeable and educated in these areas, and their voices are worth being heard on these issues. So yes, this is a dual-purpose organization, the AMA. Next slide, please. Another example of a dual-purpose organization, one that serves both the professional organization and advocacy organization. This is the ANA, the American Nurses Association. This organization represents the 3.4 million registered nurses that work here in the United States. This ensures quality and level of education and training while also helping to develop these registered nurses' careers. Again, the healthcare industry is always evolving. We're learning new things all the time, new medications, new procedures. As a registered nurse, being a member of this organization, you will receive access to continued education so that you can be up to date with all these developments, and also These nurses use their collective voice to advocate for several issues, including cessation of tobacco sold in pharmacies. This is something they've been very effective with. We're seeing this less and less. Another thing that they will advocate for is violence against women and also disease prevention. These are things that in their line of work they're seeing a lot. They've witnessed this firsthand. They've seen people come into their facilities who have been either a victim of violence or who have contracted a disease that had certain precautions been in place, they would not have contracted. So this is something that you can imagine a registered nurse is going to be very passionate about, very knowledgeable about. So using this organization and having them use their collective voice to advocate for these issues is highly effective. Next slide, please. So finally, you may be wondering, how can you join an advocacy organization? The first thing you're going to want to do is research the organization's platform. What does the organization stand for? What are their goals? What actions or reforms are they trying to realize? And do you agree with and support their causes? If these are causes that you can stand behind and you can add your voice to, this may be an advocacy organization that you would like to join. Next slide, please. So once you've found an advocacy organization that you would like to join, the application process is actually quite simple. Many of them will have a website that you can access just by doing a little bit of research and finding their website. And with a little bit of navigation on their website, you will find links and joining their organization. You're going to fill out some basic contact information. Some will also want to know what level of involvement do you intend to have. Are you going to simply donate money to the cause, or are you somebody who's going to want to prepare resources and handouts and maybe run a local chapter of your organization? They're going to want to know what your intentions are and what you're willing to how involved you're willing to get with their group. Next slide, please. And finally, you're going to contribute your membership fees. Most of these organizations, in order to do the work that they do, requires funding, and where they receive a lot of this, it's either through fundraising and also the membership fees of their members. These vary depending on the organization and your membership level or status. For example, one group that we researched, the PNHP, the physicians, oh, I'm drawing a blank here, but these guys are a professional organization that
Physicians for a national health program.
Right, for looking to have a national health insurance program for that single payer insurance. Their membership fees range from $40. You can just simply pay this $40 annually and become a member, and you can pay up to $1,000 annually, depending on and they'll have some of these have like a silver, gold, platinum membership. Some of these have just varying, and you'll see different sliding scales there ranging on your membership level. Next slide, please. Joining a professional organization is a little different. This one requires a specified level of certification or education. You need to have credentials or certification within this profession to be able to join their professional organization. As I mentioned earlier, some professional organizations will also have a student chapter, which I recommend that a lot of us start looking into a few of these. As I mentioned, being a member of a professional organization, even at a student level, you are going to immediately have networking within your chosen profession. And as you get out of college and things in your profession continue to evolve, you're going to receive continued education resources as well as career development. So this is going to keep you very relevant and informed with the latest information and resources in your profession. So how you're going to do this is similar to joining an advocacy organization. You're going to apply online, or is this possible to do over the phone, and you will pay your membership dues and renew those annually to maintain your membership within those organizations. So thank you. We've enjoyed presenting to you what we have learned regarding advocacy organizations as well as professional organizations. And thank you for having joined us today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. One second, buddy. Typically, I'll have questions, but I think we're going to forego that for today. You guys did a great job. I appreciate it. And my son apparently wants to say hi. Say hi real quick.
Hello.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Hello.
Thank you.
Very well done. I appreciate your hard work on this.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Hey, Dad, what is your name?